Yes, indeed, it's Monday. Still Monday broadcast of our programming is right here on the Flow of God's Own State, Flow 94.9 FM. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. It is the Flow of God's Own State. And yes, indeed, we are live on Facebook already, facebook.com/Flow 949 FM. So welcome on board. How was the weekend? It is the first official work day of the week, so we're ready for the hustle and bustle of the week again, even as we enjoyed the last weekend in the month of January 2022. All right, what do I have for you this morning? I'm so worried about the low turnout of people, of electorate to the ongoing registration process of the continual voter registration process by the Independent National Electoral Commission. I'm so worried, especially the numbers coming from Southeast is not encouraging at all. It is not. And there are implications to this. The minority will decide for the majority. In a situation where you have just maybe 6% or 7% coming out on the election day, even when you look at the number of people that have collected their voters card compared to the population of the city, of the town, or of the state, it's not so encouraging. So we're looking at that. We're doing the analysis this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. What are the factors, of course, leading to the low turnout of electorate, low turnout of eligible voters to update their CVR, of course, or to register? It's even a very easy thing to do, because you can go on the INEC's website, cvr.inecnigeria.org, to complete the physical process as stated in the Constitution. So that will be our conversation this morning, even as I will be bringing in some members of the civil society groups to help us analyze the situation right here in Abia State. What is happening, and how can we ensure and encourage people to come out and register? It is the process. So much of complaints going on the social media. You call the radio station every day and complain that this person is not doing well, this other person has not done well. But what have you done to elect the person of your choice, to elect that person that you believe is a credible candidate? That's what we're looking at this morning. Anyways, I'm going to be bringing in the conversation we had on Saturday with the resident electoral commissioner right here in Abia State for the Independent National Electoral Commission, the commission in charge of registration of the people, talking about the continuous voter registration exercise. We had an extended conversation with him. He's going to tell us the situation in Abia State, and we do the analysis and why are people not registering, especially in Abia State, Southeast, and also Abia State, and what can we do to ensure that people go out and get registered ahead of the 2023 general elections. If you compare the numbers with what we have coming from other geopolitical zones in the country, you will understand why I'm so concerned this morning. So welcome on board. Welcome to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni.
Progress in registration is not as expected at all. It's far from expectations. The turnout is low of the local government areas, but they are, relatively improved in some other areas. So far, the general impression is that the people are not turning out as expected. Those of them who have attained the age of 18 years and are registered first-time voters, people with defaced cards, people who lost their PVCs, and persons that have wrong data, misspelling in their PVC. And then finally, persons who have had problem of identification in any polling unit, in the polling unit where he was going to vote in the past. So we need this class of persons to turn out en masse and then come and then visit INEC office and register with us or make the corrections. Also, persons who want to relocate their votes from one location, one polling unit to another, either within the state or interstate, we are expecting them, but the turnout is low.
Okay.
I must tell you.
All right, Doctor, please tell
in
us.
some areas.
Okay, can you kindly take us through the process of registration? For some people who do not actually know the process to take in registry.
Whether a prospective voter is making any alteration or changing location, the process, there are two main processes of getting registered in INEC data for the purposes of election. First is by direct data capturing. Okay. Direct data capturing, where most of our people here are opting for, is the process where you physically visit any INEC headquarters or any INEC spot where the registration is ongoing. You go there, you clean the line, and then you get captured. They will ask you a number of questions. You answer them with every honesty. You get registered, and then you get a temporary notification. Then the second one is by pre-registration process. You start the registration at the comfort of your home, in your bedroom, at your comfort. You start the process. Just visit www.inecvr.ng.org. Just key into the process and you are on. Follow the prompt. As you enter your data, the prompts will coming up, and as they come, you complete the process in your home. The only reason that will take you to INEC office is that your data, your finger impression and your facial impression has to be captured in our data, in our system. Also, the legal requirement says any prospective voter has to come to INEC office and be registered. So we're fulfilling that part of the law and also making it comfortable for you to start. The advantages in this pre-registration are that, number one, you spend less time in data in the capture of your face and your finger impression, and then you spend less time. You also help us to save a lot of working hour.
Okay.
Number three is that you register the data. You enter your data accurately as you want them to be registered. No misrepresentation. You do the registrations by yourself. Okay. These are the two major processes.
Okay.
And the first one is where people opt for, because most people have this system and they don't know how to apply. However, I'm very happy that a good percentage of our people are doing the pre-registration processes. However, majority opt for direct data capturing. If you give me a minute, brother.
Go ahead.
Yes, I will want to use this medium to appeal to our brothers and sisters in this state, residents, whether you are from Abia or whichever part of the country. So long as you are a Nigerian, please, and you reside in Abia, please step out and be registered in the local government of your choice. Also, I want to appeal to persons who are registering to indicate the polling unit where they want to go. Okay. Because the new polling units we created, we discovered that so many of them are empty.
Okay.
And we would like the voters to
fill it up.
So many communities were opting for give us polling units. Now these polling units are given to these communities, but we discover that they are empty. That's not good.
Okay.
Communities should, the purpose of these new polling units is principally to decongest the existing polling units where so many persons cluster during voting, making it difficult for persons to come and cast their votes there. Some even get disenfranchised. Some get frustrated by the large turnout of the persons. Now that we have made it easy for persons to vote, please, such opportunities should be harvested properly.
Okay.
I will also want to appeal to our brothers and sisters who are in position of leadership, who are in position to assist, to please step out and assist. The registration figure coming out from Abia, coming out from the southeastern states, coming out from a number of other states are very discouraging. We are prepared. I will also use this medium to appeal to all prospective voters and registrants. if any INEC staff request for gratification, kindly do me a favor, make a formal report to the electoral officer, and then urge the electoral officer to send the message to the headquarters. We will visit such person, such INEC staff, with severe disciplinary measures.
Okay, Doctor, before you go, just give us the website where people can actually go and get registered.
Just tune into INEC website. You will get in there, www.inecnigeria.com.
Okay, that's the conversation we had on Saturday with the resident electoral commissioner for INEC in Abia State, Dr. Joseph Ilo. You can get registered online on cvr.inecnigeria.org. So let me just bring you up to speed so that you know how bothered we are, especially those in the media and also the civil society groups in Abia. How bothered we are. If you take a look at the latest data released, that was 6 days ago. We're expecting an update today, anyways. They update every Monday. INEC. So if you look at it, for online voter registration, when we have Abia, okay, let's do both online and in-person registration now. Where we have about 54,000 that have registered in Abia. We have states like Kano having 135,000. The highest in Southeast is Anambra State with 138,754. Definitely, it's obvious due to the election that just took place. People took advantage to go register to get registered. Those that have completed online and in person, physical registration statistics by the states, and we have Imo State coming far behind with 17,568. State in the south west also, none is. They're doing so well. Looking at the statistics, you have Osun leading there with 226,764 persons that have completed both online and in-person registration. One will be asking what led to that. And Ondo with 41,000 plus, Oyo with 83,000 plus, Ogun with 41,000 plus, Ekiti with 43,000 plus, Lagos with 55,000 plus. If you compare Lagos population and of course the statistics coming from Lagos, it is also low. So let's discuss the implication of this. If you insist you are not registering, there are implications to this. Let's discuss the implication and talk about the reason we have poor performance of Southeast in the continuous voter registration. Joining me this morning live in the studio is Kelechi Imo. He's a member of the civil society. Glad to have you join us. You've been on the field to discuss about this severally and to also motivate people, especially those in Abia, to get registered. Good morning to you, Kelechi.
Good morning, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Joining me online virtually, definitely is another member of the civil society. Is joining virtually this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. Innocent Iwon-Kocha. Glad to have you join us. Good morning to you, Mr. Innocent.
Good morning, my brother, and good morning to all our teaming listeners out there.
All right, thank you. Let's begin. I will begin with you. What have you noticed? You've been on ground and you've monitored this exercise. It's an ongoing exercise by the electoral umpire in Nigeria, Independent National Electoral Commission, and the statistics coming from INEC. That's the official statistics about the number of people that have completed their registration is not encouraging. Even if you look at the agitation, let's say in the Southeast should have a bite of the presidency seat, vis-a-vis that, it's not encouraging, and it is about numbers. So how do you see this? What do you make of these statistics coming from INEC, the official source?
Well, to be very candid and sincere, my brother, the statistics. First of all, my name is once again Pastor Wokocha Nozinotay.
Okay, Pastor Wokocha, thank you for the correction.
Nigeria. Yeah. So the point I really want to make out here is, if we are talking about having a say in the national equation, it doesn't come by just me saying it. it doesn't just come by wishing it. It comes by taking proactive measures. And these proactive measures is in the form of taking action. That is what it means. And in this circumstance, what is the action required of the Southeast? You know, because for some time now we have been clamoring, we want to have our say in the national, quota and all the rest of that. And the president, particularly, which is the one making run now. One of the ways to do that is by having our numbers. And one of other ways to strategically do that is to have our PVC. Now, look at the ongoing continuous voter registration that is really making the round in the now. This has started since last year, and it's supposed to take about 6 phases. We are in the 3rd phase right now, and the last phase will be concluded by August, thereabout. Now, if you look at the statistics coming from Abia, for instance, it's about 54,000, plus. That figure is, in my opinion, it doesn't really represent what it ought to be. Now, for the entire Southeast, we are still lagging behind when you compare our figures with what is sustainable in the Southwest, North Central, Northeast, and Northwest, as the case may be. So we are still lagging consistently behind. However, I would like to say that the place of sensitization is key. Most people are not, most people are not aware. But I've noticed something. There's something I've noticed from the movement of number of people that are registering currently. Say for instance, as at 10th of January, based on the report released by ANEC, as at the 10th of January, in Abia State, we had about 31,587 as at 10th of January. But
for both online and in person, the completed ones. All right.
Yes. So, but as we speak right now, it's about 54,000. So, meaning the question is this: what had changed from that January 10th till date? Today is the
31st day of the month.
So meaning that the place of sensitization and enlightenment is really key. You can't take that away. So and now this is also an exercise that started late last year.
Okay.
Now till that January, the figure we were able to gather was about 31,000. So what is the panacea? What is the rationale for getting this extra 20,000 on top? You understand what I'm saying? So that's one. Then secondly is, I also want to state it and state it categorically clear that it is key and very paramount that our people go all out and get registered.
Okay, before we get to the sensitization proper, permit me to cut in here. I will return to you very soon. Kelechi, you've been on the streets of Umar here severally. I've seen pictures of you moving around trying to tell people the importance of them getting registered ahead of the general elections, getting their PVCs and being in that list, of course, that will be used for voting in the next election. What are the factors behind the low turnout that we are seeing in Abia State? It's quite unbelievable, although we are doing better than Imo State anyways.
Yeah, I think from my observation, a lot of people are not interested. Quite a number of young people, because I'm particularly focused on young people.
Okay.
They are not really motivated. They've lost faith in the system. So what I and my team is doing currently is first giving them reasons to believe in the system, giving them reasons to actually get your PVC. So because when we get to the streets, people are also not informed that with your phone you can get yourself registered.
Yeah, and complete the process at the INEC,
which doesn't even take up to 5 minutes to complete. So the like my colleague was just saying, sensitization is key. Are you getting it? But a lot of we need to do a lot more in telling the young people that, see, it's not about shouting on Twitter. It's not about making noise on Facebook. You need to go and actually get this permanent voters card. At the comfort of your toilet, you can actually get yourself registered. It doesn't take your time. Within 10 minutes you are done. What you just have to do is to have your data so you'll be connected to the internet, and that gets done. So telling people that, listen, because most of us, if we tell them, listen, they will jokingly say, which office are you running for? Are you getting it? We get that all the time.
Expected you to be a politician
before you exactly. And I keep telling them, you don't need to be a politician to do this. All of us are yearning for good governance, and this is one of the ways to actually get those people who you think could do better in power. Without the PVC, you can't do much. So I try to encourage young people, see, in as much as yes, you are not happy or not, but there are little things you can do, and this is part of them. And this sensitization of a thing is not a responsibility that you leave it to Kelechi or Pastor Innocent. It's something that each and every one of us can do. And I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to our big churches to actually make this announcement to their parishioners, their members, to actually go and get the PVC. It's part of their duties. They should encourage their parishioners, their members, to go and get the PVC, because when you keep talking about this, people are learning, people are understanding you. Are you getting my point? People are understanding. We also want to inform the schools too. Inform the students to actually go and get the PVC.
Okay, just a moment, Pastor Nwokocha, let me bring you in here. There is a lacuna that has been created by the ruling class, let me put it that way, by the politicians through the process of governing the society, and people do not really believe in them again. Probably a factor that has been seen by Kelechi here while on field trying to sensitize the people. Do you think we should keep believing in them? Do you think we should still believe in INEC, the electoral umpire? Because the word on the street says our vote does not count. So how will you break that jinx already registered in the mind of the people and tell them your PVC is your right, is a way to get good governance by using it to elect that credible person, the person you think is credible enough to bring the good governance that you yearn for?
Very correct. I like this question. Well, the point is this. We keep evolving on a daily basis as far as democracy is concerned. As far as technology, used in advancing, democratic principles and processes are also concerned. Now, the point is, and I quote, this 2023 election is not going to be as election before now, probably as election as usual.
How do you know that? Why do you feel that way?
Let me tell you the reason why it is so obvious. It's not going to be business as usual. Number one is that most people are tired of a lot of promises and failures that are associated with such promises. That's number one. Secondly, is that if you look at the economy, the way it is presently constituted, I would tell you that everybody is feeling the bite as far as the economy is concerned. That's two. Then secondly, if you talk about political awareness and sensitization on education, it is on the high and it is on the increase in the now. And the reasons behind that are very, very obvious. Good. Now, most people are not interested on how they are governed, what happens with, what transpires with even their collective wealth, which those that they have elected to manage for them, the way they disburse it, the way they manage it, the way they spend it and all that. No, those jamborees are over. That's one. Then secondly, my brother, on a clearer perspective, INEC has introduced what we call BVAS, Biometric Verification Accreditation System. Now, remember that before now, one of the major reasons why it seems as if that people have it the way those who feel they are political jobbers, they have it the way they want it, is because when they go into that election, they always use the incident form and the rest of those machineries as an avenue of perpetuating all manner of skirmishes in the process. But I'm telling you that it's not going to be as like that in this 2023 election. Yeah. One is also another point also to note is, if you look at it also from a very clearer perspective, my brother, truth remains that you and I, an average Nigerian out there, in fact, they want to know how this money that comes on let me give you an instance. On a monthly basis, states receive 13%, oil derivation for oil producing states. They also receive monthly allocation. The states I'm talking about. The same within the same state, local government receive their monthly allocation from the federation account. The question is this: if I may ask you, my brother, this question. Can we say for sure that what we are seeing in the system truly reflects this huge, humongous amount of money that is being released from the federation account on a monthly basis? Can we say that the kind of projects that reflect in our budget are in tandem and they are in pari passu per se in terms of measuring, validity and maybe in terms of measurability? In fact, if I may use the word. Can they be weighted in any way or form? They are not. That is why people are really saying they are tired of this old system. Let's take this thing by our hands. But the only way to do that and get it completely right is by getting your PVC. That's why we are saying go get your PVC and get ready for 2023.
Okay, I'm going to return to you. Okay, people are tired.
Yeah.
Now, we have a problem on ground, which you've highlighted. Pastor Nwokocha said people are tired and they are finding a way out of this situation we found ourselves, that the political class, the ruling class, have put us to in this country, Nigeria. People are really tired. But you pointed out something about sensitization. Then whose job is it to sensitize the public to get registered? Because we have so much of sensitization going on in the northern part of the country. I've seen a state in this country, in the northern part of the country, that gave that declared a public holiday for people to go and get registered because they know the importance of getting registered. But that is not the situation in the southeast, in any of the southeastern part of the country. So that's the question we're asking. Whose job is it to sensitize the people for them to realize that it's important for you to have your PVC because it is your power?
It is the job of you and I, Michael.
Okay.
It is the job of everybody. When you are living in a street, I do it. This morning, before on my way here, I met a couple of people standing, just discussing. I don't know what they were discussing about. And I just threw something in the past. I hope you have your PVC. I spoke it in Igbo. Okwijikwa your PVC. Hope you have your PVC. And they said,
what was the response?
And they said, Casey, yes, we have our PVC. Casey, how do I even, some other person was asking me, how do I even get registered? I said, use your phone. Just log on to, I don't even mention the website. I said, go to Google, type PVC. It will bring out everything you need. You now click on the website. It's as simple as that.
And for those that are not technologically inclined, they can walk.
Yes. For example, when I'm in the field,
yes.
Especially in the early, when we started this earlier, because nowadays we go with INEC. I use your own phone and teach you how you can get yourself registered. We did it at this market, at Bend the Road. We did at Oriban Market. We did it there. Those market women, they got registered with their own phones. They say, I didn't even know this thing was easy. It's so easy that you choose the day you want to go and do the in-person the biometrics. It's as easy as that. So to your question,
another issue is people do not want to stay on queue in Nigeria.
Nobody is staying.
We've come across so many queues in this country. You want to withdraw your own money that you saved in the bank, you have to stay on the queue. You want to get a good health care, you have to stay on the queue. We have so many queues to deal with in this country. The in-person, the in-person registration, how easy it is. That's another issue.
Michael, I've been there. I've been in at least the INEC office in Omahia, the one at Adelabu, for example. I've been there. The queue is not much because when you get there, it's not up to 5 minutes. It doesn't stay up to 5 minutes. You get yourself done. You tell them they'll collect whatever you give them and see the time. If it is 1 o'clock, you will be attended to. It's that easy. Nobody is queuing. With the system on ground now, in fact, I'm praising INEC. With the system on ground now, Nobody queues at INEC office.
Okay, Pastor Wokocha, do you also agree with Kelechi right in the studio here, saying INEC has made the process so easy for it to be so smooth, and you don't have to stay on queue, bother yourself with the numerous queues that we have in the country?
Yes, like I said earlier, INEC, is evolving. Each and every one of us is. In fact, we are learning from past mistakes. And based on that narrative, INEC has been able to come up with a lot of changes, a lot of innovations, a lot of good, clean ideas that are in fact streamlining. Just like Kelechi said on the studio, you can stay at the comfort of your bedroom, or maybe even kitchen, while you are cooking, they are doing this registration. The only thing that will take you to any nearest INEC office is to capture your face and probably your fingerprint.
That's the
that's the only thing you need. And when you get there, it doesn't take, because you have done the bulk of the work. You have done the idea of the pre-registration, which gives you, which makes it possible for both those the typographical errors and all that. Because you know your name, you should be able to write it correctly and all that. So you have saved INEC that block of time to begin to look into those process and all that. So the point is that as far as this is concerned, I am telling you, this is the rule. Then another thing is this, just like my brother also pointed out, that there is need for the churches, community leaders, the generals of community, street. There are this community neighborhood association in some streets, in some areas, locations, and all that across board. As they are hearing this, we will also like them to, as a matter of urgency, I use the word, as a matter of urgency, so that we don't end up shooting ourselves on the leg. Because now that we are clamoring for a Southeast president, of a Southeast president of Southeast extraction and all that.
Yes.
The only way to make it happen, my brother, is not by Ebono. No. You will make it happen by taking action. And that action is this. That action is going all out to ensure that you get registered. Let's get the PVC first. Then when it comes to the voting, then we know also how to pick that hurdle. So it's as simple as that. So the point remains that it's not going to be business as usual. 2023 is just almost around the corner. And another thing is that this one other thing that to note is that this particular exercise has only but 6 phases. It has only but 6 phases. The first phase has gone. The second phase is already gone. We are on the third phase. This third phase started on the 4th of January and is expected to last only but 3 months. After these 3 months, it will close. Maybe another week or maybe 2-3 weeks of break will be given. Then the 4th phase will start. My brother, if you don't get it right now, by making sure that Momo boy, those who are in the shops, in their respective offices and all, even in schools, just like you also pointed out, like in some markets, say for instance in our Orioba market, Ayokoro market in Aba, Riara market in Aba, Assignment to all the rest of these markets. There are people who are learning trade and all that are within the same bracket of 18 years. What we are saying is in essence that they should all come out. They are boss who are also listening now. Should let these people out when it comes to capturing with respect to the face and the fingerprint. But they can stay in the comfort of their office to complete the major data capturing analysis that is required in this particular process.
Just before I let you go, Pastor Innocent Nwokocha, this morning, what are the implications of the poor performance of Southeast to this continuous voter registration? Are there implications? If I may ask, and what are the implications?
The implications are too many, my brother. Number one is this: we were talking about national equation. What are the panacea for, if I may use the word, sharing certain cakes at the national level? These are data that are required for such, analysis. Then another thing is this: if we're also talking about voting in the right candidate, because every 4 years people will shout that they are going through hell and all that. Like right now, some people are shouting, most people are shouting that the economy is something else to them. The question is this: what are you doing also to correct it? This is one of the implications is that, number one, if you fail to do the right thing now, don't be surprised that at the end of the day, the wrong candidate, not your choice, will still emerge, and still, because the person does not have human faith and does not understand economic dynamics. This is not somebody you wanted under normal circumstances, and the same person will still assume office and still, subject you to some other rigors and issues that it may not be too, cool for you as a person. That's another factor. Then another thing is this: if we are talking about I think I mentioned the national cake as the case may be. That one is really very key, very, very important. But above all, my brother, talking about good governance, there's no way you will vote in someone with the right sense of attitude to governance. Someone who understands the dynamics of governance, someone who understands the yearnings and aspirations of the people, because that's what government is all about. It's a vehicle through which people's interests, wishes, and aspirations are expressed and realized. So when you have a driver that does not understand those wishes, that does not understand those aspirations of the masses, that does not understand that he is the driver who is supposed to lead the people to that other side of the sea, that is where there is uhuru, and what we may call uhuru, then we should have a problem. So these are some of the implications. The implications are too many to mention, my brother. So my point remains that it is high time to rise from those cocoons, out of that cocoon, and go get this PVC and do the right thing, so as to vote in the right candidate come 2023 across board.
All right.
This is the way to go.
All right, Pastor.
And that will be the dynamics. That is what we need in the now.
Pastor Innocent Nwokocha, I want to thank you very much for your analysis this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. Thank you very much. We do appreciate.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to return to you, Kelechi, but let's get reactions on our feedback platforms. We have comments coming already on our Facebook page. Honorable Prince Emmanuel, Prince Igwe Stanley Chidebere, Ovuna Dickland. You can keep those comments coming. I'm going to read out your comments very soon. You can join the conversation by sharing your thoughts, calling the phone lines at 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. We're looking at the poor performance of Southeast in the continuous voter registration exercise. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, I'm going to the student.
Good morning.
Well, I'm American and I'm calling from Alabama.
All right.
Thank so much about this political participation, and when you start getting your people ready so that you can vote in the candidates of success. At least at the end of the day, it may not guarantee you good governance. Not that you vote the candidates of success, you're not guarantee good governance. You see, the problem we have in the party, no longer kids. No, 1999 participated. 2002 are not what that participated. But at the point in time, a lot of most candidates, because we never saw the evidence of democracy. After we won't talk about the election rigging. It was rampant in the past. At the end of the day, people lost totally interest in whatever is happening about. Well, in fact, many people go to get a TV, maybe for banking enterprises, they go to bank and they take a TV and they go, they hardly taking the fee. Even with the present election, indicate that so many people have the TV together at the end of the day, only 5% of the population. So there is a Latina thing and there is a problem. And we are not talking about the major problem. It has to do with organization. I know the people are just running around thinking for massive advance because people think they have nothing to. And look at the many youth following and they can, and they're not so. They're not interested because the country has not giving them the right direction. They follow somebody who is telling them that in a new country they will stay out. And we ask you now, Mr. Pastor, everything about it. I don't know.
All right, let's allow others. Thank you very much for your contribution. I do appreciate. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Hello, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, our guests in the house.
Good morning.
It's Okafo Chinedu. I'm calling from Mumbai.
You're welcome, Mr. Okafo.
Okay. My take here is just, let me start by pleading with Abians and every person in Southeast to go out and register. We have been clamoring, we have been desiring to produce a president of Igbo extraction, and this is our time. I just on my own want to plead with every citizen in Southeast, every citizen belonging to all the states in Southeast to go all out, to do that, to register. This is the time. Just like our guest said, it is not by talking in the media, it is by action, and this is the time. Then secondly, the government has a role to play. I've been in a city during the election period, during registration period, and I know what they do. Most at times they will force you to register and somebody who is not even up to age, an underage candidate, probably somebody that will become of age by the election year, and the government play a leading role. What do? They will encourage everybody. They will shut down markets to make sure that people go all out. They will go through the media, the radio, the television, and they will go to churches. All the political stakeholders will mobilize their people in their different zones. Let such be applied in our this zone, South.
All right.
If it matters to shut down market and pursue people to go, force people to go, let it be done.
All right.
And that is my take.
Thank you very much for your take. We do appreciate you. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark.
You're welcome. Good morning.
My name is Colonel Ozomba. I'm from Ozomba.
You're welcome, Mr. Uzomba. You called in today. You're welcome.
Yes.
All right.
So just as the last speaker said, I am supporting total mobilization of information to all the Igbos. You know, we always complain, but we cannot be the needful. That is why the North are having upper hand, but because they are more particularly aware than us. So, go to churches, the tertiary labs, everybody should, all the agents should be mobilized to get information, go to the schools, the churches, and the village square. Let them use this method of God, inform everybody about what is on board now. So that it's not, none of us will be found wanted. No, we have not done what we're supposed to do. So that's my consolation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu Zomba from Isekweto. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. Good morning, gentlemen in the studio.
Good morning, my brother.
Please, my own take is this. You know, we are talking about continuous voters registration. Sorry, my name is DK from Abeba. Mbadike from Abeba.
You're welcome.
We are talking about continuous voters registration. You know, most of the time, the reason why people show apathy when it comes to this registration of a thing is they've lost faith even in the INEC that is conducting this registration. How can you imagine that you go outside there and vote? After voting, your vote will be rigged. And at the end of the day, they will tell us to come out again. Who does that? So my own take is this. INEC should be encouraged to do the right thing. Whenever election is being conducted, let them do the right thing. And when they do this, you see people coming out to do this kind of thing when it is being opened. Thank you. That's my take.
Thank you very much for your take and for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning.
You're welcome. Ikechukwu. All right.
So what I would suggest for massive voter registration, if the governors in the southeast will shut down the state
a particular day, so that people will go. If you don't have PVC, go and register. If you don't have PVC, there should be a jingle all in the radio and the television for people to mass registration. Yes, and they can even mobilize NYC core member. After then, you can even do it like this from 8 to 12. No open of shop or bank. You can operate except essential duties. You can pay by 12:30 to wherever you want to use. Not to ensure that people go and register. Yes, I'm telling you.
All right.
Because if you don't have so much vote, now we have a senator from Anafara saying that they know those who want. They don't know those who want to succeed them, but they know those who will not succeed them. So if they're making that kind of statement and you are here sleeping, I don't know how you want to realize that fact is Nigerian presidency extraction country 2023.
All right.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Thank you,
There should be a massive voter registration.
Your thoughts with us. We do appreciate. Keep those thoughts coming. Keep your reactions coming. Honorable Prince Emmanuel Abaze on our Facebook page says, "Good morning, please. Is it true that those that got their voters card in year 2011 will validate? I think you should head on to their website, cvr.inecnigeria.org. There are some info that has been added that you need to update. You can also go to their office and check that out and check the status of your registration." Prince Igwe Stanley Chidebere is testing from Ebonyi State. "I think it is very important the government address the reason behind the poor performance of Southeast in continuous voters registration. There are a lot of questions to ask the people of Southeast, such as if they still believe in the voting processes and results in Nigeria, the impact of the past elections in the lives of the Southeasterners, and so on. Until we address this, then we can begin to talk about the solutions." All right. Ovuna Dickland on our Facebook page says, "Good morning, presenter. The poor performance of Southeast in the continuous voter registration is lack of voter education in the zone. Meanwhile, I think it is high time the political parties and INEC joined together to educate the citizens on the importance of getting the voter card before 2023 election." Thank you for being there. You're nodding.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that comment.
Yeah.
It's high time the political parties and INEC join forces to actually.
I think the ruling class now, the politicians, they know the implication
of
you getting your PVC. That is why they are not encouraging you. They know your power lies in that PVC. That's my personal opinion, anyways, and that's one of the reasons you should get yours. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. White.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Mr. B, calling from Obo.
You're welcome, Mr. B.
Yes, sir. Please, my contribution to this is that I know that during the time of COVID-19 something, people came in here for, say, they are coming to register us. So in the village, they came village to village, registering people. And up to now, we've not heard anything from them. But this is time of PVC now. And those are our senators, they will have reps. We are not seeing anybody, especially this part of East Imo State. I'm not even seeing any senator or House of Rep or anything. They are not calling us even for this PCV or something like that. We're supposed to, people supposed to register.
You know what my answer to you will be? Don't wait for them. Go to the INEC office and get registered, or probably
local
do it yourself.
I will be to go to local government. From my house, local government. Okay.
All right. Thank you
No
for
problem.
sharing your thoughts with us. We do appreciate you. Okay, because you're waiting. It is not the responsibility of that politician to encourage you to vote. It is your duty. It is your civic right, and you should exercise it. Kelechi, I want to thank you very much for joining this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow FM. Thank you so much, and good job you're doing on the street. I'm sure you're returning to the street to keep the sensitization on. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome, Michael.
On the platform on Flow FM. Many thanks to Pastor Innocent Uwokocha, who joined all the way from Aba. He's a civil rights activist, and also the producer. We have an addition to the producer now, but we have two producers on the show, and for this morning, and I have been told to acknowledge her. Anyways, many thanks to Samson Eze and also Ezine Okoro for producing the show this morning, and also the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. Chinedu and Stanley rather. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, go get registered. Your PVC is your power for good governance, and for you to vote that person of your choice come 2023. Stay out of trouble. My name is Michael Oni.